right, y'all. We're here. It's Monday. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Labor Day. Markets closed.
We're open.
Market Monday's open.
Yeah.
Facts. The market is closed, but Market Monday is open, man. Definitely glorious beginning of the fall to everybody. It's the unofficial end of summer.
It's true.
Oh man.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. It's true.
When they say you can't wear white after Labor Day, but
we're breaking all them rules, yo.
Every day.
I wear white all year round. But for the casuals, they say don't wear white after Labor Day.
Who made that rule?
It's one
of random shit, right?
Jean-Paul Gaultier, somebody.
Yeah.
School's back for people in the Northeast.
Yes.
Fashion Week is about to start.
Yes.
In New York. There's a lot going on, man.
West Indian Day Parade today. Shout out to all the Caribbeans out there. Who represented on the Parkway. Love is love.
Football's back. Summer basketball is over. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Clash TV, man. I was out. They had me in Harlem last night till 2 o'clock in the morning.
I saw.
Through parks. It was crazy. Shout out to Jim Jones. Shout out to C. Will. Shout out to Chris Gotti. Shout out to Davies. It was a very nostalgic day yesterday in Harlem, man. Shout out to all the basketball enthusiasts out there that always run up on me that watch Market Mondays, that ask questions about their stock portfolio.
And huge shout out to Lauren and Sean from the USTA. They had us at the US Open this week, which is incredible. First time attending a match. Shout out to my boy Francis Tiafo. Actually won his match. Coco Golf lost yesterday. So shout out to them. That was a dope experience. Extremely hot in New York. A lot going on in the city. And like you said, man, it's back to school. So prayers on all my educators, all the students out there, all the parents. It's that time of year again, man. So I want everybody to have an incredible school year. Start off the right way. And nothing's like your back to school gear, right? Like that first day of school, like my kids already it's picked out your fresh kicks. So it's always an exciting time. But yeah, I pray everybody has a great year.
Yeah, it's been back to school for a large part of our audience, but just for New York, because I don't want to focus this solely on where we live, because I know Atlanta, Georgia, Texas.
They started in August.
Beginning of August.
Yeah.
So
2 weeks ago.
California. So
they had their moment. This is our moment. Shout out to the Northeast.
Big facts.
Shout out to yeah.
And rest in peace to Fat Man Scoop.
Absolutely.
He passed away suddenly over the weekend. So somebody that was definitely a great supporter of ours brought us out at the Apollo.
Mm-hmm.
He was he got Floyd Mayweather for us when we did MSG. And over and above that, just somebody that was always in communication, used to send voice notes on WhatsApp all the time. Was asking questions about investing, just very integral as far as how he could help. Always looking to add value, and just a very big supporter of not only us but everybody in the financial literacy space. Like whether it was Alex, Good Energy, watched that episode and he had questions about trucking, and it was just he just was very supportive of the movement.
Loved Blackout, yo. Every show, y'all crazy. He loved Blackout, yo. My God,
rest in peace.
Yeah, terrible. Just an amazing human being, like you said. And I seen all the posts going up, and everybody had a voice note for him, which I thought was dope. So we went back and checked some of the voice notes. It's an untimely loss, but his spirit lives on, man. Just try to live yourself as a great human being like he did. I think that would be the best way to carry on his name.
Sure.
Yeah, he's one of the few individuals, like when someone passes and everyone's like, oh, he's a great person. He actually was like super supportive, super loving, always willing to share gems and, lessons on brotherhood and navigating the industry. So to the family, my condolences. Rest in peace, my brother. This one was real tough to deal with.
Yeah, rest in peace, Fat Man Scoop, and condolences to his family. I got some other announcements, but I'll make them throughout the show because I don't want to go too lengthy in the introduction. But I will say this: big episode of Earn Your Leisure tomorrow, 1 o'clock. We got John Burns, who's a dope entrepreneur and out of the DC area, and he opened up a social club in Kenya. So,
wow, okay,
yeah.
So we got this cross-continental continent about the continent of Africa, and then he also has a social media type platform which is similar to LinkedIn for business. So he's very interesting entrepreneur. So that's going to be a dope episode. And then For Blackout, we got a special Blackout. We're gonna release the Shannon Sharp episode. Shannon Sharp from the Invest Fest. So this Wednesday, our conversation with Shannon Sharp that we had at Invest Fest will be released on Blackout at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. It's gonna be a dope one, man. He covered a variety of different things from Skip Bayless to his grandma started crying. Haters, Cat Williams episode. It was a very interesting,
emotional time up there.
Very thought-provoking.
And I know they don't always want to hear about your clothes, but the pink pants, the purple pants with the
pink.
Boy, you
I'm about to say, Ian, don't get the colors wrong, Ian.
Went crazy. I said, oh.
Sure, we can do it when we can do it. We do
Boy,
it.
Fashion Bob didn't pick that one up. That was fire, yo.
Shout out to Fashion Bob. Yeah, facts. Oh, and also we started a new YouTube page called EYO Clips. We'll be putting clips from Earn Your Leisure on the short, so you don't have to get confuddled with the episodes because people say that it's hard to kind of find content. So
that's a good word.
Follow EYO Clips.
Confuddled.
EYO Clips on YouTube. Yeah. And like I said, there's a few other announcements, but I want to make those throughout the course of the episode.
Yeah. I forgot to shout her out last week, and I told her when we met up at EYLU meetup. Shout out to Mercedes, man, who was one of the volunteers. Shout out to all the volunteers who are at InvestFest. The clips are still going. So shout out to everybody that's sharing their clips, sharing their weekly recaps. It's been an incredible moment. Ian, I just saw your drum entrance again. Somebody posted it. After you posted it, somebody put the drum entrance up again. It was an incredible week. So shout out to everybody that helped make that possible. And Mercedes, I told you, I got you. But you know how this works.
Yeah.
Oh wait, Ian, you got.
I was gonna throw it to him. Ian, you got anything you want to say to the folks?
Shout out to everybody who was at InvestFest. Shout out once again to Atlanta Drum Academy. Rest in peace, my brother Fat Man Scoop. Miss you dearly. Red Panda family, if I made you money, please put yes in chat. Had an amazing stock club call last night, and to everyone who joined on the sale. I think you may have, a few more hours to join, and then it's finito. So go to ianinvest.com if you want to get rich from the market. And to anybody who's been saying I've been gatekeeping information, please jump off a bridge. y'all killed. We're not doing it this year, yo. Like game on stage. Come on, what is we talking about? The damn job. They lied about the 800,000 jobs this year, and I told y'all a year in advance. And but namaste, Rashad. I got you. I love y'all dearly, and I'm so thankful and appreciative to have all of you here. And on Blackout, I'm going to be in my Loverboy bag.
Okay.
Be kind.
Okay.
So, we got to straighten the man out a little bit too. You know what I mean?
We're gonna put
Cam Newton had a hot week. Nick Cannon had a hot week. We got to come in very. What's the male version of Demure? Whatever that is. I'm coming on them vibes. Blackout.
Now is the very everything. Very demure, very polite, very. I'm like everything is very now.
Y'all run this very into the ground.
Very tired.
Yes, for real. Mm-hmm.
Y'all know how this works, man. This is our disclaimer. Do your own research. Our content is intended to be used and must be used for informational purposes only. It's very important to do your own analysis before making any investment based on your own personal circumstances. You should take independent financial advice from a professional in connection with, or independently research and verify any information that you find in our show and wish to rely upon, whether for the purpose of making an investment decision or otherwise. Continue to do the research, share the research. Let's make money. Let's be happy. Let's spread love. Let's show love. Let's reach out to our people. Let's do all those things. Let's build community.
Absolutely.
Love is love.
Can we talk about that? I know you guys always say a relationship, but like in light of his passing, please call your friends and family more. Let's not wait till these moments to happen before you like reaching out to people. So
facts.
Yeah.
So let's start with Eli Lilly, a company that we haven't covered in a while. So what's Eli Lilly's future as a $1 trillion pharma company? Could Eli Lilly become the first pharmaceutical company to reach $1 trillion market cap? And what role do weight loss drugs play in the potential valuation?
Lilly, it's one of my favorite companies of all time. Stock is currently at $960, which is incredible for a pharma company. Rashad, I can hear your sentiment now. Have we gotten to a peak that's too high and it needs to come down? At some point, yes, but with the weight loss market being so hot, and then being one of the leaders in it. I hopefully they'll split at some point, because if they crack above 1,000, I think it would be too pricey for the average investor. But I do see it breaking above 1,000 and then starting to retrace. But I do think in the pharma space, Buffett did it last week with Berkshire to have a valuation of $1 trillion. I think Eli Lilly will be on its way very soon. But with a few companies having this valuation, it's very interesting to see, because 10 years ago, this wouldn't have happened so easily. I think we have an over concentration in a few companies. And at some point, we're going to have a conversation about when the economy is going to correct and level the playing field. I don't know if we'll do it tonight, but in that pharma space, Lilly would be the first to do so. But we've seen NVIDIA pull it back. They missed earnings. We'll talk about that later. But do I think they'll hit the $1 trillion? Yes. Are they overdue for a pullback? Yes, because I don't know how long they can continue to just knock these earnings out of the park as well and have blockbuster drug after drug. But it's definitely one of my favorite companies in the health space by far.
I think the answer is yes on the first question. Do they hit $1 trillion? I think so. As far as when you talk about pharmaceutical companies and those that are groundbreaking and creating new drugs that are just, they're phenomenons at this point, right? Like when we're talking about Ozempic, we think weight loss, but Mounjaro, I mean, obviously we know that was for diabetes. What they've come back with is Zepbound and Wegovy. And not only are they treating weight loss, but you're seeing other health symptoms having effects, whether it's heart disease, right? If you treat obesity, other diseases will obviously, or health care concerns will decrease as well. Heart attacks, heart disease, cardiovascular disease. And now I just saw a report that Wegovy has lessened the death toll from people who have COVID.
Yeah, I saw that. That was an interesting study.
Like, what?
Yeah, I don't know what the correlation is, but shout out to the investor relations team for putting that together.
Right. So you're starting to see it. I don't want to put the title, but it feels like this is this miracle drug at this point. The interesting part is that I think there's still growth. When you talk about these drugs, they're still injected. When the pill form comes, you're going to see an uptick. They're not here
if
yet.
They are able to pull that off.
Right. So that from an optimistic standpoint, if they haven't created the pill form yet, which will obviously have more mass production, we'll have more pharmaceutical companies, we'll have more prescriptions. That'll be an uptick. So the $1 trillion mark is within reach now. I think it's over, the valuation's like 890, maybe 895. So it's there. You add into these things. Obviously, we know the country with the most health concerns when it comes to obesity is the United States. I mean, there's a clear path to a $1 trillion valuation. How long they stay there, we'll see. But I think that the pharmaceutical component, the weight loss component, definitely is going to attribute to it, and you can see the path very clear.
Yeah, and if they make headway in the Alzheimer's space with that drug, I mean, talk about dynasty. I mean, think about it, in 2020, they're at 148. I think when we started the show, 130 or 148. Now they're almost at $1,000. Like, some attributes of the company that I do love. You don't hear anything about the founder. You don't hear too much about the current CEO or board. They've never signed anybody breast at a convention. They just do the work. Shout out to Jensen, but I'm like, that's when things start to go a little bit awry and Blackwell didn't get delivered. Amazing company. Shout out to everybody in Indianapolis who may be working at the monopoly, but they are going to outperform the market for a long period of time for sure. One of my favorites in Stock Club for sure.
Yeah, and that pill process, it takes a while, right? So that's not something that's going to happen right away. It may take 6 months, may take 12 months, but you can see that that's definitely the road that's just going. Rather than people injecting themselves once a week or daily, if people could just take a pill, it would simplify it. So
the entire Bronx is gonna look like Ice Spice if they get that pill form going, yo.
Yeah, I don't know a Jim. Is you dumb?
I said, girl, you got some allegations to address too, boy. We're gonna talk about it on Blackout, but
shout out to the Bronx.
Hell of a turnaround in 2 months, though.
What?
You never worked out before?
You never heard of a treadmill before? What?
I said, wow, okay. But yeah. And then crazy part, Lilly has no major competitors. Johnson & Johnson, no. Pfizer, no. Moderna lost their lure. And that pharma space, they are hefe. So,
yeah. Who's number? Would you say Novo's number 2?
Yeah. Novo for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. And those are good two to put into a portfolio if you want to make your own pharma index. I know the ills and evils of pharma companies, but if we're just talking pure gains, those two, that's like having Jordan and LeBron on one team, man. It's hard to lose with them two. Hard to lose. So, Rashad, what you think? Do you think the market has gotten too high on Lilly and it needs a pullback? Because I do love when you like the voice of reason. We did this a couple years ago with tech and then a pullback. Do you think pharma has gone up or Lilly has gone up too much over a 4-year period?
Yeah, for sure. I think you definitely don't want to start investing in companies at the all-time high. And, you know, pharmaceutical companies traditionally have been ripe for lawsuits, like $1 billion, $100 billion. So, you know, at some point in time, I think that it would be reasonable to anticipate a tremendous lawsuit hitting Eli Lilly. There's going to be side effects for these weight loss drugs that people don't even know about yet. And people are using them. They say Mace was on Ozempic.
He did look different, right?
Who knows? But
if they make that freestyle fire, boy, hey, fire up another round.
Shout out to Mace. I'm just saying, but that's the thing. So what I mean by that is that it's become so part of culture now that they just using that like Advil.
If you lose weight, that's a problem.
So with that many people using it, I think that they probably will have some mishaps that people have not calculated yet. So that's something that definitely could affect the price of the stock and the overall valuation of the company. But yeah, I mean, overall, healthcare industry is still the biggest business in America. So you can't go against that.
But look, it was 90 in 2016 to be at 900. That's man.
Yeah,
that is insane to think about. Like they've outperformed majority of tech stocks. That's interesting.
yeah. I know Berkshire was the first non-tech stock to hit $1 trillion. They're right there. They're right there. They'll be the next. Yeah, they'll be the next.
Yeah.
Okay. Huawei versus Apple. The Chinese often been noted as the Chinese version of Apple. The second, I think they're the second largest cell phone maker in the world because they have such a huge presence in China. Even though people in America, you know, I don't think anybody in America is using their products, but are they positioning themselves to actually be a real competitor to Apple?
It's interesting because at one point they were trying to get their phones here, and from a brand standpoint, I think it's a great lesson to write down. Like anytime the lead gets too close, that's the time to panic. You know who didn't panic in time? Intel. At one point, I know y'all tired of me beating this drum, but shout out to Atlanta Drum Academy. You have to care about the lead being lost when you see your competitors are slowly encroaching on your space. And truth be told, as big as Huawei is, even though they won't have America or Canada, they could get parts of Mexico. And for the first time in a long time, in our adult lives, like think about this. Microsoft now is more popular than Apple. Like if I would have told you that 10 years ago, you'd be like, man, you own Ozempic and Dust too, right? So now Microsoft is more popular. The CEO is more popular. I didn't even know they had a new phone coming out. That's not a good sign. What you guys call it? The eye test? I don't hear anybody talking about, man, I want the new iPhone or a new iPad or new AirPods Pro. That's a scary sight. So am I a little bit concerned? Yes. But I have heard that like Apple's doing some things on the iOS side that would be amazing, but I think the hardware needs a huge overhaul. But the overall bigger point of like the Chinese economy, EVs are taking some of Tesla's lead away. Like this geopolitical war is heating up and they're trying to take market share from us for sure. So it's something you have to definitely keep your eyes on.
Yeah, this is they want that smoke. Like pretty much, right? They heard when
tariffs hurt.
Yeah, they saw when the iPhone announcement is happening. They're doing their announcement the day after. They said we're gonna step on your release, pretty much. And they've tried this before, right? When they tried to get the American market, they were the first ones to have 5G, and then we put a ban on them bringing the 5G here. And now with the phone, like you said, the release around it, there hasn't been as much hoopla. And usually you see like leaks leading up to it. I haven't really seen any leaks about the iPhone 16. All we hear is that AI is going to be integral and part of it. And if you want to have the AI services that it provides, you're going to have to upgrade. But Huawei, what they've done is, number one, they've taken that market in China, which is so vital to the growth of Apple's revenue. And they've said, yeah, we're going to compete here. So for the first time, I think in June, Apple fell out of the top 5 phone providers in China. Huawei,
not good.
Which is not a good sign. But they also decided to step into an industry that Apple backed out of, and that's the electric vehicle. So they're going to announce that as well. From all the reports, is that they're announcing the phone, new series of phones, plus they're announcing the EV. I mean, you want to take headlines away. You want to take some market share in a country that is needed for the revenue growth. We always talk about how are sales doing domestically, but how are sales doing in China is vitally important. So if they're cracking in on that, it'll be interesting. To see how, I guess not this quarter, but the next quarter, how the iPhone sales do. I know plenty of people. I mean, just from the brand loyalty standpoint, people are going to order it domestically. But I'd be interested in seeing the numbers from overseas after this release.
Once again, the purpose of having a business is to make it a monopoly. So when them tariffs and sanctions got levied in China, China pushed back and said, "Don't have your little cruddy iPhone here," and start blocking that market. If I was Tim Cook, I would be knocking on both presidential doors, like, "Bruh, please let's fix this immediately," because now it's starting to hurt our businesses, and that market is so big you cannot avoid being there. Now you have to really be incredibly aggressive in India. But if going back to the BRICS, if BRICS is in formation, that could get blocked off in a few years as well. So I think a great lesson in business is to worry about the new territories and alliances that you could have. And there's no money in war or relationship podcast. So I know some of y'all trying to act like it was 2 people at InvestFest. That crowd looked pretty fucking big to me. I'm seeing some of y'all review. I want y'all review how many people was there. I went to the vendor marketplace and got stopped for 2 hours. Are we just gonna make stuff up? Is this what we doing?
Oh man,
what do I know?
Yeah, they said that the phone,
Huawei and shout to Apple.
The phone that they're releasing is the first commercial ready smartphone that folds twice. Do people want smaller phones? Is that
I don't know,
like a selling point?
They have some AI in it that works incredibly well. It could be a good competitive advantage. And most companies in China, they'll have a loss to get market share for a couple of years and figure out how to convert it.
Yeah, you change some price points. You have your market, but I think India comes into play here too when we talk about the spread of territory. Obviously, Apple's there, but Huawei, from an international standpoint for them, what's the next region that they tried to say, let's expand into? So it'd be interesting to watch.
And if you look at the general smartphone market, like when's the last time you saw a phone that was like, damn, I really want that phone?
We need that one. Right.
Like the double Galaxy fold out, that's fire. Look like a little mini movie projector, but like there isn't much innovation on the smartphone side in America in general.
Facts.
So
true.
All right. Okay. So now we're gonna take a break in our regularly scheduled program, and we're gonna go. Ian, if you were not at InvestFest, I'm sure that you've heard about Ian's presentation. Legendary outside of the band, but as far as the information that was provided, about 45 minutes, 50 minutes of just very insightful, high level information, and was definitely a highlight of the weekend for sure. A lot of people left feeling like that was worth the price of admission within itself. And of course, everybody was not able to attend InvestFest. So we're going to give you guys a treat, and we're going to show you a 10-minute or so segment from Ian's presentation at InvestFest, so you too can gain some insight into the market, into how to be a master investor. So without further ado, roll the clip, please.
Y'all, I'm going to show you how to get rich. Let's get to it. So what I want to do tonight is give you every secret that I know for how to build your own crystal ball. If I made you money, can I get a hell yeah? If I made you money, can I get a hell yeah? Let's get to it. So you guys always ask me, how do I get into the market? I'm going to break it down for you tonight. Please screenshot, right? There's 8 places I want you to get in. 20 EMA, the 72 EMA, the 100 EMA, the 200, and number 9 is really important, the 50% retracement of the day. So when the market is half off on the day, that's an area where you can buy to look to hold for the long term. Now, point of control is really important because it's like an equator. It's the middle line for where the market should be. So if you ever heard me say like NVIDIA is going to drop to 91, and y'all like, how the hell do he know NVIDIA going to 91? Point of control allows me to know where the market is going to go. Y'all got y'all screenshot or no? Okay. See or no? Okay. 5 biggest trading mistakes. Y'all like, he went to Mexico 2 times and I ain't know Spanish. Como se dice? I don't know that much. For my traders, here are 5 of the biggest mistakes that you make. Number 1 is incredibly important. Red Panda Rebellion, make some noise. Number 1, too tight of a stop loss. So when you're trading, you don't want to have your stop loss so tight that you end up getting whipped out of the market. So here's my secret. If you're going long or buying, you want to place your stop at the bottom of the market. Say bottom of the market. And if you're shorting, because you think the market is going to drop, you want to place your stop at the top of the market. Say top of the market. I need y'all to say it like y'all want to make some fucking money, though. Thank you. Number 2, stop changing your targets. Master one target endlessly so you can be able to create all the freedom you want. Say, I will make one target my goal. This side don't want no money. Let me come to this side. Say, I will make one target my goal. I'm going to stay with this side. Number 3, not marrying your plan for 4 years. Now, I've seen some of y'all in the lobby getting mixy, fellas. You know, ladies, make them show your portfolio before you get that number up, right? But what I want you to do, since you won't be faithful in your relationships, is to marry your target in investing. These are just jokes written by 85 South, right? I ain't dirty macking. Number 4, thinking that more information is going to make you rich. The people that I know that have made millions of dollars in this market, Red Panda Rebellion, who have made hundreds of thousands, they stuck to the same plan over and over again. How many of you heard me say 2 Tech 2 Index? How many of y'all made money from it? Investing is not complicated. For 125 years, they told us investing was hard because they didn't want us to be a part of it. If I made you money, can I get a hell yeah? All of you keep asking, how do I hedge if we have a recession? During a recession is a time for you to buy the best companies in the world. Buying the best companies is the hedge. Now, if you can trade as well, you can make a lot of money as the market is falling, but buy VOO, VTI, Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA. Use that 50% retracement, write this down, over the last decade, and that will tell you what to buy. So when we come to a 50% drop on a 10-year basis, you know where to load the boat. We already know August and September are the biggest months of the drop. So your investing season needs to start during August and September. When the market falls, hold, and you'll see all of your gains go up in March. For my traders, I hate RSI. But if you're going to use it, use 95-5 instead of 70-30 or 80-20, okay? Bet. And this is an important lesson. Price action is not more important than you marrying your target. Say, I will marry my target. Y'all are losing me. Let's go over here. I will marry my target. Thank you. So price action is how the market moves. But what matters is, will you stick to the same price for when to get in and when to get out. If you're up 100% take profit, if you get up to 500% take profit, no matter what. Any of you got in on NVIDIA? I love y'all. And notice when it got to 500%, that's when it started to falter and come down. So for long term, hold until you get 5x return. If you're trading, get 100%, 200% return, and then you can look to exit. Please, screenshot this. You have to know the average true range for how fast or slow a market will move. So if you know what the stock has done over the last 4 years, you'll know how much you need to buy. And for my traders, if you know that, let's say, the Euro USD only moves on average 125 pips, you can have a 100-point target and you'll be okay, okay? For my traders, the Asian session, 5 p.m. Central, is best for you to trade, okay? The American session is amazing for my more experienced traders, but if you want to make money consistently, please trade the London session. Some of you will tell me, I don't want to get up at 2 or 3 in the morning, but if a vibe call you at 2, 3 in the morning, you're going to slide, right? So I want you to be as dedicated to getting your dollars as you want to get something else, okay? I'm going to keep it clean, my dad here. How to tell the direction of the market. This is my ultimate secret. Please screenshot this. Any of you be like, man, there's no way in hell Bitcoin will go to 20 grand. You ain't tripping. Look at the month chart first. Say month chart. Then I want you to go to the weekly. Then the day. Then the hour. Uno hora. Say it. Hey, let's go. Right? So when you see the month, the week, the day are all green, it's the indication to buy. If you see the month, week, and day are all red, it means the market is dropping. Don't touch it. There's nothing else you need to know about the direction of the market. You want 4 green lights if you're trading to buy. Month, week, day, hour, then you can buy. Say it with me. Month, week, day, hour. Let me come to the money side. Month, week, day, hour. Buy. Month, week, hour, day. Buy. Come on, I need y'all to step it up. What we gonna do? Okay? Some of you keep asking me, how do I know if a stock is going to be a surefire hit? On the institutional side, whatever BlackRock and Vanguard says, shout out to BlackRock, is law. The companies they invest in are law, right? But you have to make sure that they're number 1 or 2 in their industry. But if you want to know which companies are going to be amazing in the future, go to Angel List and Y Combinator. They will tell you the companies of the future that are going to dominate. So when Sam created OpenAI, Y Combinator was his baby where he incubated talent. So when you're seeing the companies that are going to develop that run our lives the next 5 or 6 years, if Angel List is big on them and then BlackRock and Vanguard then supports them, it's an immediate home run. If BlackRock and Vanguard does not own the asset, I don't want you to touch it. Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, all owned by who? BlackRock and Vanguard. Make sense or no? Thank you. And also State Street. Screenshot this, please. So if all of these brands are not in love with the company, like Rivian, no slight to them, but all of these 5 companies that run the market did not love them, they did not do incredibly well. Now, the VIX is really important. Recently, the VIX went up to 65. Everybody was terrified, right? These are the levels that you need to write on your chart and be aware of. If we go to 65, which we just hit, or 82, if we get to 155, it's going to be hell on earth, so I hope we don't go there. But these 2 levels, here's what I want you to do. If you hear the market is going through extreme compression or contraction, and the VIX gets to 65, I want you to buy the top 5 stocks in the market and don't do anything else but hold. Did any of you get in when I called on Market Mondays the market was going to turn around in about 14, 15 days? When it hits these historic levels, the VIX is showing you how bad the market is at that time, but the VIX never stays down for more than 90 days. So when I saw it went to 65, that was the time for us to load up. If I made you money, can I get a hell yeah?
Okay.
Round of applause. Round of applause.
Very insightful.
Crazy part, I'm gonna figure out how to get a stage for the show because the little demure sit down vibe is cool. But when I get to walking around, ooh, boy.
Hey, wait, talk about preparation, man. How long did it take you to prepare for that moment?
Man, no bullshit, probably 6 months. Because I remember when I first said, "Hey, I want to do multiple days of the show," I was like, "For real?" Like, yup. You have to, even in being entertaining and providing information, there's different levels of information. You guys will see with the Shannon Sharp interview, like there's nuggets that he gave there that I think are incredible business lessons. But man, I probably wrote out 600-700 talking points, and I had to pare down to the best 90 slides. So it's some stuff I never talked about before. Shout out to Stock Club. We went over volume profile last night. Like, I have to get in my bag because I know what people are saying. Oh, y'all doing blackout. Da, da, da. Okay. Let me remind you why I'm here. Please let me remind you.
That was excellent presentation. Amazing, as I said, something that everybody that I spoke to had tremendous high praise for it. And, you know, it's one of these things. It's not easy to speak in front of people for a long period of time. That's difficult to do. So to have a presentation, like I said, to go 45-50 minutes is underrated achievement within itself, because most people are on panels. That's easier. Fireside chat, that's easier. You still have to have information, but when you're just by yourself, that's like being on an island, and there's no recourse for help. Like, you can't take a break. You can't rely on somebody else to answer a question. You can't rely on the host of the panel to kind of give you some minutes to think about what you're going to say next. So it's a very difficult task. So once again, congratulations on that.
Thank you, man.
Yeah. I got to add to that because it talks about the preparation. That's why I asked it. If you watch the presentation, you're looking straight onto the crowd. You're talking directly to them. Whereas people might get befuddled up there, right? Yeah, you have slides, but those are just to remind the people that you know your shit. Like, that ain't even for you. That's for them, right? So like when you're going through it, and I've watched you do it plenty of times. I've sat behind the stage. I sat in front of the stage to watch you do it. It really is a masterclass on how to present. I think you don't get a lot of credit for that. Yes, the information is ridiculously good and it's life-changing, but the art of presentation, I think, is something that people should study from that. It was incredible.
Thank you. You need both. And also, can we talk about, from a brand perspective, the power of, can you hit the shot when you need a bucket?
Yeah.
I could have actually do multiple days and flopped on both days. Different conversation. Hey, brother, I appreciate you next year. Panel for sure. Early. Real early. 10 a.m., 9:30. When you're called to perform, can you get the bucket? Game 6, Byron Russell, push off cross, hold a 4. Come on, man. So, but I'm honored to be on the stage and then to be able to show out, like, make all the prep worth it, for real.
For Pete, man.
No, for sure, man. And with that being said, that's a window into InvestFest presentation, but it's also a window into Red Panda Stock Club, the legendary Red Panda Stock Club. So, you know, last week we did the annual InvestFest Stock Club sale, which we've done for the last couple of years after InvestFest, which was a 50% off of Stock Club. And said that was going to be the last Stock Club sale of the year. It still is.
Yeah. And
the response was tremendous. But we're extending it because we have gotten at least over 100 requests to extend it for a little bit more time. So 24 hours. We've added 24 hours. We wanted to give you at least 2 episodes. It's the same sale, 50% off of Stock Club, which grants you 3-year access to Stock Club, which grants you access to Sniper, which grants you access to the best entries as far as when to actually buy the stocks. You get the calls, you get the communities, you get the gem of the day. So this is a program that actually, you know, plants the seed for you. If this was a garden, it plants the seeds for you, right? So now we can tell you to buy Eli Lilly, but in Stock Club, they'll say, okay, Eli Lilly, look at it when it turns 750. That might happen in the next 8 weeks or so. You know, it's using that as an example. And that makes a tremendous difference, especially if you're trading if you're doing on the option side or future side. But even if you're long-term investing, it's always better to know when to actually buy. And we give prices on Market Mondays, but it's hard to give 100 prices on Market Mondays or 25 prices on Market Mondays. So this gives an assortment of different prices of entries to when to buy, along with other things, along with education, along with community, along with the sniper program, which actually helps you, develop your trading skills if you want to be a trader. So this is high level education. And this is 50% off sale that we have extended 1 week to today. So you have 24 hours to take advantage of this, and you can take advantage of it by going to ianinvest.com. ianinvest.com. There's no promo code needed. There's nothing. You just go to ianinvest.com. Within 24 hours, if you are waiting, this is the last. This is it.
Yep, this is the last one. I promise. Yeah, I know. Yo, Black Friday is coming back. Black Friday, I'm gonna be in Mexico. I promise you.
Final call.
I promise you.
This is the final call.
Nope.
So go to ianinvest.com if you're interested. And once again, thank you to all the InvestFest volunteers. You guys were tremendous and did a great job as far as really helping the whole situation run smoothly. And shout out to everybody that came to InvestFest, and everybody that spoke on panels, everybody that participated, and everybody that didn't participate but still came. Shout out to Chris Sane. I seen he was there. I saw a bunch of people that were not necessarily on this year's set, and we rotate. So there's always the opportunity to be on InvestFest, but even not, it's just, I thought it was dope to just see a lot of people come, support, and just connect with their audience, because they have supporters and they have people that follow them that, are excited to see them in person. So shout out to all of the creators, and shout out to everybody that didn't come. If you didn't come, you probably
what he was gonna say is that you can get the replay.
Great scream, boy.
That's what
boy going downhill scream.
Yes,
for him.
of course, that's what he's doing. Sometimes you work together so long, you finish each other's sentences. So
got you. True partnership in real time. Yes.
Yeah.
Now blackout. Hey, my boy, I'm with you. Let me get my energy up. Let me grieve a little bit. But blackout.
Thank you.
Yes.
We appreciate y'all. Yep.
Yes. We're gonna remain dignified. Ooh, I'm gonna be on Michelle Obama vibe. When they go low, we go nuclear. What she say? I said,
do something.
So Michelle ain't playing no more. Okay.
Do something. Okay.
Yeah.
Far from over.
Oh, but here's a good lesson. If you were not able to present at InvestFest or you were not able to participate, I will write my presentation now and send it in. Now that there's some downtime, put some fire together. Don't wait till next July. It's too late.
Yeah,
I would do it now.
The work is happening now.
Absolutely.
The work is happening now.
Mm-hmm.
It's crazy to think about, but yeah, it's happening now.
Yeah.
Facts.
I'll come in on that elephant next year, yo. I want to do what tigers or something. Ooh. Come on. Come on.
All right.
You gonna put a master class together, or y'all like how y'all put your outfits together? I'm so glad I prepared, because boy, y'all. And Steve, Ellie, what's up? I saw the replay. I said Steve had on a gator jacket, yo.
With the boots.
That was different.
Gator jacket with the boots.
Yeah, and he's been. I mean, every time we see him, he just looks more healthier. But this time, I feel like he might have lost a little bit more weight, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jim.
Yeah.
I saw Jim Jones yesterday. He had the Uchi bucket on. Have you been following that?
Of course, yeah. I told you I was about to look like
he got a new one, or the same black one he had bought from the
Nah, it was tan. It was tan.
Oh, that's a new one.
Yeah.
That's a new one.
He had the Uchi.
Yeah.
He had the Uchi bucket on. But
The first one was black.
you know what I respect about that? Because he's making a statement. Actually, he's kind of making a statement with this. Like, he's showing y'all, like, yo, it don't even matter. Like, y'all made a mockery of this high fashion so much. Fuck it, I'm just buy bootleg shit from Canal. And y'all not gonna say nothing, and I'm gonna rock it, and it's gonna be all good. And then it's like, and like I seen him with it on, and because he was fresh, he had like a polo rugby type thing, and he had the Uchi bucket. And somebody was like, "Yo, you got the Uchi?" He's like, "Yo, you know it." And I'm like, you know what, man?
Jury phenomenal too.
I mean, you did. He looking at it like he done did it so like what could you say to him? He done did this thing so long.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
what?
Oh, told everybody, hey, go get the little earrings from Claire's.
The Uchi bucket is crazy.
Yeah.
Did.
Shout out to Jim, man. The Uchi bucket. I seen that yesterday. I was dying. But yeah, man.
The man make the clothes don't make the man.
That's a fact.
It is.
That's an actual fact. Okay. So concerns about NVIDIA, right? Should investors be concerned about NVIDIA's recent stock market performance? What are the keys, risks? And, you know, this is interesting because it said this actually last week when we referenced Meta. When Meta had they had very good earnings last quarter.
Yep.
And their stock dropped because of comments that the COO made, and the market just was a little pessimistic about the comments. It just disregarded the actual fundamentals. And this, so, you know, if you haven't watched NVIDIA, they released their earnings last week, and it was positive. Actually, you know, it wasn't bad, but it was a little bit of a disappointment for Wall Street. And as a result, the stock actually dropped. Even so, that's what I'm saying. Stock can drop on positive earnings. And we said this on Monday, and that's exactly what happened on Wednesday. It dropped on positive earnings. So does this mean that the hype is just too much, and that it is not? Sometimes in life you can't live up to the hype, right? It's like if you are, or if they're already saying you're the next Michael Jordan, even if you are a great player, you're still going to disappoint 9 times out of 10 because you're not Michael Jordan, right? And that's hard to live up to that type of hype. So is this NVIDIA's hype too much for it to actually, you know, live up to?
No, I think it resets them back to reality. I think we all can agree when they said Blackwell was not going to be announced, that for sure is going to impact the market. I think if you continue to have exponential returns, you need to produce at an exponential level. But I do respect Jensen and the CFO for being honest and saying, hey, we won't be able to release it when we do. I think that'll push the stock up even higher, but I'm glad that they allowed them to reset to come back to a normal price. They bought back a lot of shares. Are they going to give up that lead? No. A lot of AMD has come down, Intel shambles. So they don't have a big competitive threat at the current moment. But I think if they would have announced that Blackwell was going to be released January, February, I mean, I think the reviews would have been out of here and the stock would have went up even more. But I respect a CEO, a CFO, a C-suite for being honest about what's going on in the company. And like you said, the revenue miss was slight. They still have a great competitive advantage. From a moat and competitive advantage standpoint, they don't have a nearest competitor. They're still really big in gaming. If Elon's dream of the auto taxi or autonomous taxi market becomes real, they're going to help lead that. So they're fine. It's like if you have one bad quarter in a basketball game, like I'm not trading Michael Jordan in the third quarter because he had 15 points instead of 28. So I think some of this was overhyped, but I'm glad. I can only imagine as a CEO, I'm glad they're back to a realistic expectation. So next quarter, they can over deliver, but it's hard to over deliver 8 quarters in a row.
Yeah. I think overhyped. I'm big on the overhyped sensation. When you talk about the numbers, it's kind of like what we were talking about last week. We were like, maybe not a grand slam, but a home run. So I think they still hit a home run. You're talking about revenue increase 122%.
That's like for a company of that size. Like we're not talking about
let me just say that number.
$100 million company. Like
let me just say the number again. The revenue increased 122% year over year, reaching 30 billion, primarily on the data center segment, which brought in 26 billion. The growth is still growing in terms of Hopper and Blackwell. So the issue with Blackwell, which is the new GPU, not so much that it's a production issue, it's how it's being made. So it's more difficult than its predecessor. And so it's taking a little bit more time. But from what I listened to Jensen's call, like I actually listened to him, he's like, pretty much he's saying, y'all bugging. Like, I'm telling y'all this is coming, and I'm telling you why we're having delays.
The least fate I've ever heard yet.
Okay, fine.
Yep.
They also bought $50 billion worth of stock back. Like
that tells you how much they believe. Like if it was 2 billion or 1.5, 50 is a lot, bro.
Yeah. So when you see a stock buyback like that, that means the company believes in obviously their investors, they believe in their future guidance, but they're also saying like we're taking shares back, and when there's less shares, obviously the stock price goes up. That didn't happen. Well, why didn't it happen? A couple of reasons, and we kind of alluded to it, was the idea of how long can they sustain it, right? How long will the Metas, how long will the Apples and the Microsofts be willing to pay premium dollars for these chips? There's no answer to that because they haven't put them into use yet. We haven't seen if these CapEx expenditures are going to make sense for them long term. So I guess that's the pullback. But yeah, I think overhyped. If it's not Jordan, it's LeBron at this point.
And the crazy part, like when they made the modification to be able to sell into China, like bro, they have 9 mega buyers. Now they go get Lilly or Lenovo or another big player in Europe. Daniel, I know you got all them Spotify bot farms. You probably want to tap into NVIDIA to help that go. I know the music industry got you by the cojones, but
so that
if they get 5 more if they're worth this at 9 mega buyers, if they get 7 more in 3 years with Blackwell, what is that going to do?
Yeah,
it's insane.
Yeah, you think about that future product. It hasn't happened yet, but that's potentially more growth when you're talking about the Chinese market. And then they had some other segments, gaming. They saw increasing, autos increase. So there's different pockets that they're actually seeing growth in. It was interesting, like you said, when I think it was the last quarter when we watched Meta pull back after just meeting every revenue model. This is part of it. This is part of it. But like I said, either way, you're gonna look at Thursday and say, yes, I'm happy I'm in NVIDIA, or hey, it pulled back a little bit to a point where I can grab some more shares. I don't think you lose either way. When like, is it I got a text, a couple of texts like, is this the load the boat number? And I'm like, nah. But somebody caught one of our gyms when we were talking about it previously, when we caught 107. They're like, well, what's the next target? And I was like, does it start with a 9? And that next target for me was 97. And obviously it hit there, but yeah, it goes down to 119, 117. Nothing loose take over.
And the crazy part, they haven't even expanded to business to government or national education. Like they have some big targets on the, like, once again, they have 9 mega buyers. Man, if they add 3, that'll push them up into the 230s, 240. Like, yeah, I think you'll be on the wrong side of history to not be in favor of the stock over the next 4 years.
I'll open this up to both of you guys, and Stripe, maybe start with you, because just from an eye standpoint of viewing it, is it working to his benefit, or will it work to his detriment to be the known CEO, right? Like we know Tim Cook, we know Zuckerberg, and now Jensen is becoming one of those CEOs that we now know. Does that open it up for attacks?
Yeah, of course. It definitely opens up for attack, but it also could be beneficial as well. I mean, it worked for Elon Musk. It worked for Jeff Bezos.
Steve Jobs.
It worked for Steve Jobs. It's working for Tim Cook. It's working for Sam Altman. So
Rockefeller, John D. Rockefeller. Like if we go back to the history, James Pimp Morgan. Like I know they'll criticize us sometimes for the celebrity. The one thing that the celebrity part is really good for, everyone write the Q score. If that Q score is high enough, you will find another nest if you get kicked out. As soon as Steve Jobs got replaced by Scully, what'd he do? He went to Pixar and got hot, but he made sure his name stayed in the press. So when he came back, these were my rules in my company. I'm going to run it how I want to run it. Kind of hard to do if no one knows you. Yeah. That's the part that's like you need that celebrity CEO. And if you look at the index, the celebrity CEOs, okay, really quick. Who's the CEO of Intel?
Well, how about I give you, so like let's take Bezos, right? Amazon CEO, but Jesse is now the CEO. Now that's kind of like just doing a job, growing business, kind of out of the limelight. Same thing with Lilly, he's kind of out of the limelight, even to a set. Nutella at Microsoft. He's done interviews, quieter, right? So I'm just there's two distinctive type of CEOs. I'm just right because I could see as Jensen, he's becoming a superstar.
He's becoming a
He's
star.
becoming a household name. The leather jacket, the signing the boobies, like
the largest.
See, that's the part that about like once he did that and he went WWF Shawn Michaels, I said, boy, you done went too far. And we'd all been there.
the booby sign.
But I would prefer my CEO to not be signing nobody titties at a convention.
Well, most of the largest companies in American history have always had a superstar CEO.
Absolutely.
Especially in the last 20 years. If you look at Microsoft, they had Bill Gates. If you look at Apple, they had Tim Cook. I mean, they had
Steve Jobs.
If you look at Tesla, they have Elon Musk. If you look at Amazon, they have Jeff Bezos.
Michael Dell from Dell Computer.
I mean, the only one, maybe Google, the CEOs aren't as well. Then they haven't really, put themselves out there as other former people that I just named. But most of the top 5 companies, if you look at Meta, you have Mark Zuckerberg. Most of the top 5 companies have had superstar CEOs.
Yep.
Like 90%. So
good for business.
It's inevitable. It's just inevitable.
But one of the things I talk about on stage at InvestFest, character of the founder or CEO. I don't think Jensen has a character issue, but I do like if my CEO is public facing to have impeccable character. You see that with Satya. You see it with Tim Cook. You've seen it with even at Google with Sergey, like very little scandals, very little issues. So Zuckerberg, very little scandals, right? So it digs more into the character of the person. But even from that boob signing thing, like he's cleaned it up since then. And I think focused back in. So I would prefer a silent CEO like the one at Lilly, but if you can be a rock star and deliver, it's definitely a multiple on that for sure.
Yeah, I'm just thinking from a standpoint when we think of these rock stars, all the guys that you just named, antitrust usually comes. SEC hearings usually come. Now you look at Zuckerberg 3 years ago. It felt like every month he's sitting in front of Congress trying to defend himself and his business. Whereas we haven't seen that yet from Jensen. We haven't seen it yet, but it could be coming.
Well, that's regardless. You can't avoid that. Like I said, Google, they still face antitrust, and they don't have a superstar CEO. So no, if you get to the top 5, you're gonna get. It's gonna
make the rounds.
Yeah, it's inevitable.
Yeah, it happened with AT&T. Like when it was my bill, people didn't know they broke up AT&T over monopolistic practices. Most people didn't know the CEO then. So yeah, if you become top 5, it's going to happen regardless. So
top 5.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't avoid it. Can't.
Good problem.
Got to stay hot at all costs, no matter what.
It's a good problem, right?
It's a great problem to have.
You
have $1 trillion market cap, and then you took a company from $90, now it's worth $1,000. Rock star. And if we're gonna be very honest, Jensen not as great as Steve Jobs, but he is this generation Steve. Like we need that for even as a bunch of American brands have been sold off internationally, we need superstar CEOs to look to as a beacon of hope in the market.
Yeah.
We really
and
do.
Even I feel like they're not in a position to really they need their services. The chips is something that's vitally important. So you can't attack them. You can only attack them so much. What they got to look out for copycats, like people that's like, their competitors that's coming in the space, that probably more of a threat to them than the government. People that want to because even like if you talked about, like we joke about the fashion thing, but you can just see like in the financial literacy space, a lot of people have copied, like, you start to see drip reports or people wearing eye spectacles that don't need prescription glasses. I'm just being honest. So when you set a mark, right, you're going to have people that start to copy, right? So it's up to you to be one step ahead. That's why it's like, okay,
all times.
We're not doing pajamas this year. We're going to do suits. So now y'all copy that.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know what I'm saying? Because
continue to pivot.
If you don't reinvent yourself, you're destined for failure.
Yeah, for failure.
It's just because at a certain point in time, when everybody starts to copy you, if you keep doing the same thing over and over again, the replica is going to get more traction than the original. And then it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to really know who's the original and who's not the original.
Facts.
Like the give me my money thing, like the dude that started that's from our neighborhood. Nobody knows.
Really? That. I didn't know that.
Yeah, shout out to Jono. Nobody knows that. He went viral 10 years ago off that, but it's gotten so diluted now that it doesn't matter. The original person that started it doesn't even matter, unfortunately. That happens all the time with culture. Like we see stuff that happens all the time with who started this dance, and JB Block Boy started this, right? And it's like by the time Fortnite got it, it's Fortnite's thing. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
So I think that's important for all the entrepreneurs out there to kind of keep in mind that you're gonna get competition from people that's copying what you're doing. That's part of it. What are you doing to reinvent yourself and staying one step ahead?
Yeah, my biggest worry about NVIDIA is if they expand into China, will China be able to recreate those chips? If so, that is something we don't want.
Giving them access to the technology.
If you get close enough, because China's so great at replicating everything.
Well, China's at it with Japan right now over chips. So so it's going to be an interesting
time.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Well,
sure.
There's always AMD, guys, which is a great company. Yeah. Second fiddle, but great company.
Yep. Harold Miner.
Pay attention who did this, quote unquote. I know we always kind of gloss over it when we say nobody knows what's in the CHIPS Act, but really read it and look where the money is going.
You can see
the government is saying that we're not letting these companies die. We're actually putting money into these companies to make sure that we stay dominant and we don't become as reliant on other companies that are overseas. Look inside.
And then Intel got that money and then talk about they want to split it into two companies. Y'all ain't Damon Hove. What? Come on, man. Don't nobody want two factions of that garbage. Shout to you off. I haven't run into you.
They're gonna run up on you. Intel, the execs about to come after you.
These are just jokes.
I'm
gonna put on my cape then. I'm just catering to my audience.
Of course we support.
Cop order, please.
I got a Dell computer right here with an Intel chip.
For real. A compact Rosario.
Compact.
With a Pentium 3 processor in it. Right.
What about the potential $10 trillion valuation
of NVIDIA?
Yeah.
Shout out to the analysts who came up with it. I've been there too, trying to make a hot point, and 10 trillion is crazy. I ain't even gonna hold you. That's crazy. What's the entire valuation of the whole stock market? 52? 10 trillion. They must about to cut rates 14 times before the year is over. I don't see it.
But did he give a time frame?
No, the great thing to do is to give a bold ass prediction with no time behind it.
110 trillion.
8 years, like I told you, see. So
total market cap is 110 trillion.
I mean, it's not theoretically impossible. It just depends on how long. It's like saying Bitcoin can get to $1 million. That's not.
It may take 25 years. Yeah.
Yeah. So if he says, all right, it's going to get to 10 trillion in 20 years.
20 years.
Possible.
We'll see, man. Yeah. The way inflation kicking up now, that should maybe possible in 12 years. I ain't even gonna lie. And the crazy part is if they figure out how to corner a bunch of other sectors and then they start going after the top 4 in every sector, possible in 12 or 15 years.
That's what's his market cap right now?
2.9.
Yeah, almost 3.
So I mean, it's almost impossible that it won't get to that in 20 years. That's only 3 doubles in stock price.
But they got to deliver on Blackwell.
That's if it works.
Well, I'm just saying,
it has to work amazing.
Well, not really. I mean, if it goes up 7% to 10% a year for 20 years, there you have it.
I mean, if we're playing a long game,
if it goes up 10%, if it averages out at 10% a year over the course of the next 20 years, which is very reasonable expectation.
Yeah.
I mean, because once it triples, once it doubles, it's in 4 or 5 trillion, and then all you got to do is double one more time, and then it's in 10 trillion.
You're talking about some exponential numbers, though.
But if that's what I'm saying, the product has to work. If the product
has to work,
I'm just saying, obviously, it's based off of right, past performance is not a guarantee of future expectations,
Right.
but it is something that you can gauge off of. So if we look at Apple's performance for the last 30 years, we can kind of gauge it for the next 20 years, right?
Yeah.
We can kind of gauge their performance off the last 10 years, and we can gauge the need. It's only going to be more need for chips. The demand's only going to grow. So we can kind of have a guesstimate of what it would do over the next 10 to 20 years, right? And that's a reasonable expectation.
If AI delivers, they'll be in pole position to be able to take advantage of it. But if they unveil the lid and see the most AI is pipe dream at best.
And they have the lead. So they have the lead for sure for the next at least 3 years.
Yeah.
At least.
Oh, yeah, easily. But probably half decade.
Yeah, we could say, on conservative, we could say 3, but we could really go to 5, the lead in the space.
Yeah.
So that's a hell of a head start.
And it depends on their focus. I know, because I can only imagine the depressing worldwide reception and love and adornment that he's receiving. If he can stay focused for another 5 years. Whew.
Yeah.
And Steve got started earlier, though. And succession planning is really important. Like, who are you going to hand a company off to? Because Jensen's a little bit older.
And it's made people money. We can't, we have to put that part in it, right? Like, this is a company that has made retail investors money over the past 3 to 4 years that they've never seen before.
Yep.
That just it alone, people just hear the name because the average person who's just invested, and if they put money in it 4 years ago, has made money.
A ton.
Word of mouth is the best publicity. So it makes him a superstar in a sense because you've made money with his company.
Big lesson. Continue to over deliver at every turn. If they can do that, they'll be a-okay.
Okay. All right. Well, self-driving cars, let's stay on NVIDIA for a little bit. What about the expansion in the self-driving cars?
Mistake. I'm gonna be real. People aren't going to work. Like, what the fuck do you need these cars for? Where y'all going? Like, if commercial real estate is down and people are working from home more outside of LA, maybe Miami, which I miss so much. Oh my God, Brickle's calling my name. In Los Angeles, what the hell do you need a autonomous vehicle for? You're not gonna have one in San Tropez. You're not gonna have them in Monaco. Like, it's a great idea, but what is the catalyst for that working well is a labor force being in buildings. And once people got a taste of Tulum and Cabo and having 2 jobs from home, I don't know if we ever get back to that. So I think it's a mistake when Elon tried to do it for Tesla. I think it's a mistake there, but I think they're fulfilling the needs of Tesla and Uber, and I don't think it should be a primary market that they focus on.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. It's not a primary market for them, although the sales declined by 37% to over 360 million last quarter. They're just a provider. So it's not, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like they're making the vehicles. Like when we were just talking about Huawei, they're actually trying to make the vehicle. If somebody's making the vehicle, we're going to supply you with the product.
I'll send you the chips to run.
Yeah, as long as you make it, we'll provide the chips. So as long as people make the vehicles, they'll have growth. If people stop making vehicles, it's not a primary business for them. It's just something that, as a provider, we're going to put the best technology inside the vehicle. And if you're looking in terms of artificial intelligence, now the the EVs, they have different type of chips, right? So we're not talking about necessarily GPUs in there. So that might be a strong point for another company that's going to make specific chips for EVs. But like I said, it's not a primary market for them. Sales did increase. So if people want the business, then they're providing it. But yeah, we're talking something that's under 500 million for them.
Yeah, and if they ever announce going into quantum computing or cancer research, that stock is going to take off to the moon. I'm gonna be real. All the big tech players have to have the tentacles in healthcare. If they announce anything regarding diabetes research, cancer research, Alzheimer's, and because they have the processing power to help crack some of these hard equations, it's over with. It is over with. Apple, 2034, not that far away.
Yeah. And then every time we talk about NVIDIA, everybody just skips over the data center part. Like, this is where they get the money. Like, this is where the money's coming from, ladies and gentlemen. Like, you should be researching data centers. What does it take to run a data center? What type of energy is needed? How much energy is needed? What type of wire? All these things, if they're telling you that there's a growth in revenue and a large part of it is coming from data centers, you should be looking into that because that's only going to grow. That's growing the business every quarter.
Who would be a great partner for them over the next 5 years?
In terms of data centers or just in terms of
data center?
I always said it's the person that can create the storage, the person that can create the memory, right? Which is why one of the reasons I like Micron, because of the fact that they focus on memory.
Yeah.
Right? Because if you can feed this technology, but it has to retain it, it has to store it somewhere, which is why you keep seeing expansion in that. So as long as somebody can provide that service, I mean, it's a perfect match for them because they don't. That's not something that they do.
Yeah, I agree.
There you have it. Oh, Dallas Fort Worth area. We will be in your area September 21st. We're gonna be rocking with Rock T for Invest DFW. So Invest Dallas Fort Worth. They having a financial conference out there. They kind of focus on the Dallas Fort Worth, Arlington, Texas area.
Yeah.
Maybe we can go to a Cowboys game while we're in town. Who knows? But get your tickets. InvestDFW.org. And shout out to Dallas. We haven't really spent too much time in Dallas. We do a lot in Houston, but Dallas. Shout out to Dallas, man. A lot of love in the Dallas Fort Worth area. And it's good to be back out there. I was there once a few years ago, but we got a lot of listeners. People listen to Market Mondays and Earn Your Leisure and have been supportive for a while that live in Dallas. So shout out to Dallas, Texas.
One request, please.
What's that?
You and Dak gotta take a picture of family.
Yo,
I saw him.
No.
At the NFL Honors joint.
Did you? Okay.
Hold on. Tell the story. Can you tell the story accurately?
NFL Honors?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not really too much of a story to tell, but I ran to Deion Sanders. Shout out to Deion. And congratulations on their first run. I'll tell you what, their defense is not that good. Their offensive line is terrible, but they have two of the top 5 players in the country. So it's going to be an exciting season. But no, long story short, I did run into Dak Prescott at the NFL Honors thing a few years ago. And I didn't get a chance to really connect. But what?
I was like, yo, it's weird because like you hear this all the time. They're like, yo, you like that. I'm like, yo, there goes Dak. He's like, I'm like, yo, you should probably just get a pick.
You should.
I'm thinking like, yeah, you just go get the pick. He's like, I'm like, no, we should get this pick. He's coming this way. We got to ask him. He's looking at me like, I'm like, bro, you're not. We gotta at least get it. He walks past. I'm like, we're not gonna get this pick. We're not gonna be like, we'll get it later. Again, we didn't get the pick, but every time you go, so it's between Dak and PJ Tucker at this point. Well, Dak is probably taking the lead. That people say you look like.
People have always referenced Dak Prescott. Shout out to Dak. Yeah, we gotta. Yeah,
we'll make it happen.
That'll break the internet when that happens.
Real quick, I want to give people. I did this. So for data centers, here's the 5 businesses that happen inside of data center. Servers, look into that. That's a key component. Storage, which I just talked about. Networking equipment, because that's needed in there. Power and cooling systems. Security measures. So when we talk about cyber security, and we'll talk about a few at the end of the show. These are companies that you should be looking at. If data center businesses are growing, companies in those businesses are going to be growing as well.
All right.
Yeah.
So let's talk about this. Personal finance advice for sudden wealth, right? For those who might have suddenly acquired a significant amount of money, what financial strategies we recommend to ensure that they don't lose their fortune quickly?
I think you need to make a budget now. So the traditional answer, put a percentage into index funds, 10 to 20%, put a percentage into tech. You definitely need some great advisors, but I think the biggest personal finance lesson is to allocate how much money that you're going to blow and don't go past that. I talked about it before. Lending can lead to poverty. So like, if you're going to help have that allocated to the side, this 50,000, I'm going to just give away to family and friends, but you need a hard budget for that. But you have to realize once you start, it's really hard to stop. I think it's really important to have a plan in place before you get the money. But now that you're here, I know you want to live out some of your wildest fantasies, but you got to put 70% of that money away to have it work for you. Because if you suddenly got this money and it was life changing, that money can go away in 2 years. And we're seeing a lot of people have a personal recession or sector recession that made $2 and $3 million in 2020, and now they don't have it. So I think it's incredibly important to plan and then learn to say no, because everyone's going to ask you for a whole bunch of money. Well, what do you guys think?
That's a fact.
Like Cat Williams said, you got to tell them no. Say, I ain't got. As soon as you get the money, tell them I lost it all. Options is Ian's fault. I'll be
future, no future.
Lost it. Sorry.
I ain't got it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a lot, but first you want to make sure that you invest a large portion of the money. Make sure that you don't really change too much of your daily routine, as far as avoid large purchases.
Facts.
Which includes a house that you can't afford. Do not spend money on things that it's not gonna come back to you on. Meaning like jewelry, cars, even a watch. I mean, you're not really going to make money on a watch, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
Just being honest with you.
15 years or something like that. Yeah.
Sounds good in theory.
Yeah.
But how many people do you know actually sold their watch and made money? Do you know personally, Ian?
Settle.
You said none?
Not a one.
Oh, damn.
No.
Oh, a couple. Oh, we know a few.
You know a couple?
I don't know. Who?
Mike's definitely made money selling watches.
That's funny.
OG from my neighborhood. Shout out to Steve. He was selling watches too.
Jacob made a lot of money selling that glass back in the day.
It's a skill set. You got to love watches to know the right watch to buy at the right price, and hopefully it appreciates.
And the right person to sell it to.
No, but
the rarity of it.
But even if it appreciates, it's still difficult to sell, because it's like you got to sell it to a jeweler, or you got to sell it back to an authorized dealer. Now, the jeweler, it's
tricky
depending on whatever the market demand is at that point in time. And even the authorized dealer is the same thing. Then they can always find little things. Oh, this has a scratch in it. It's not perfect anymore. It's slightly imperfected.
Yeah.
They're gonna try to run this.
They're gonna run some
scam on you.
Yeah.
So long story short, don't buy things that can't be easily sold. Right. So what can be easily sold is a stock. That can be easily sold, right? If you buy Apple and for whatever reason, next week you need to liquidate, you can do that, right? That's something that can be easily sold. So it's important to make wise decisions and avoid the traps that can lead you to being broke. And like I said, I mean, the house is definitely a trap that can lead you to being broke for sure. And all of the other ancillary things can lead you to being broke. And a lifestyle, when you're trying to live a lifestyle,
creep. Yep.
As far as just running around different places, you got multiple different women. Now you got different kids that you got to raise. Now you got child support. These are all lifestyle decisions that can cause financial hardship on you as well. So don't go crazy. If you get a lump sum of money, it's going to be tempting, but try to stay as close to where you are now as far as your expenses. That's going to be helpful for you, as opposed to blowing the bag and then trying to figure out what happened later on.
Yeah, I add all those things to what y'all said, and I would just say the first thing, well, one of the first things is get a great tax professional, because there's nothing like accumulating money and realizing that about half of that money is going to be paid to the state and to the government. Unless you have a tax professional that understands tax code, understands how business formation happens, finds loopholes for you. They're important. And that's something that most people don't think about. I saw Joe and the guys, and happy birthday, happy belated to him.
Yeah, happy belated.
They were talking about $1 million not being a lot of money. And he's like, nah, that's a lot of money. Yeah, well, if somebody has nothing and comes into $1 million, obviously it's a lot of money. I feel like anybody, that's a lot, but It could go very quickly.
It's not what
Right, depending on how it got there, it can go very quickly. So investing is important. Staying below your means, not making purchases that are outside of the realm of your financial prowess is important. But yeah, finding a professional, a tax professional, it can save you a lot, time and money. More mostly though.
And then if you look at LVMH and all the psychologists they have there and all the brands they're acquired, like as you get more money, you have more companies that find a way to take your money from you. It's an exchange for clothing, but like how long does the clothing last? Cool. Like you have to be the more money you accumulate, there are more, I wouldn't say schemes, but more incentives to spend your money with luxury brands so they can pillage that and take that back to their family. You have to be incredibly disciplined. Even me, when I was staying in the medical center in my 2-bedroom condo, paying nothing for it, right? Man, damn landlord saw me on YouTube, tried to rake me over the coals, tried to make me charge me double. I'm like, girl, crazy. It ain't worth double. So it is what it is. You know what I mean?
Uchi it is, man.
Gotta be mindful.
Get you some Uchi kicks, man.
Big facts. I'm gonna go right to Weezy Studio and get my baby a Balenciaga Chanel bag. Big Maxi, 3 of them. Big Max. When I took that to Mexico, he saw a Louis bag he wanted. I said, boy, that is Luis Cabrera. That is not Vuitton, my boy. That is not the real thing.
Think you'll do it? You probably would, right? I couldn't see Jim. I know he's big on sneakers. You think he got the Uchi bucket, but would he take it to the kicks? Because he's big on kicks.
You can't do the kicks, yo. That's too much.
All right. They gotta draw a boundary. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'll buy Maxi though, off Canal. As soon as they put that little towel down, right in the morning at 8:30, go right to that McDonald's. Come over. Let me get 3 of them.
You bought some on Canal before? You ever bought some out there?
They too aggressive for me, bro. I'm sorry. Nope. Bought some McDonald's off Canal. That's it. You want a scarf? It's 200 degrees out here. Why I need a scarf?
The shades that go with it too.
For real. I'm like, I'm good. I'm cool. So,
yeah, man. Shout out to Canal Street.
Okay, what about September when it relates to market trends and volatility?
Hey, listen, I'll be real with y'all. Yeah, put your seatbelt on. September, October, tough. Just get out. Hey, and I told you after August, after my performance, I'm off the grid. Join Stock Club if you got questions. It's going to be a rough ride going into election. Historically, August through October 1st is really rough. This is a time to buy shares. If you bought at the top of the market, you're going to feel like you're on a Spirit flight going to Cancun. It's going to be hella turbulence, but you'll make it through and be all right. Get ready to load up. Even in Stock Club Dollar General hit, load the boat price. There will be a lot more that come down, maybe 10 to 15%. Get prepared, and then you'll profit around March or April, and you'll be good. So investing has cycles. We're now in the zone where you need to be buying. Your investing calendar should start around August. So these next months are going to be a little bit bumpy. But yeah.
Yeah,
buckle up.
It's a buckle up situation. We've seen this happen over the past couple of years. September's tough. And this September, I think it's going to be volatile as well. We got the Fed decision coming on the 18th, quadruple witching on the 20th.
That's going to be a rough week. Say them dates again. Hold on.
Yeah, so we got Fed decision, which could be promising, right? I think a rate cut is going to happen on the 18th. We'll know for sure. And then quadruple wedging will happen on the 20th, which happens on the third Friday in the last month of the quarter. So every quarter, right? If we break it down, has the last month. This September being the last one, and it's the third Friday. So the 20th, when options and future contracts expire. And so for those of you who trade options, you should circle those dates because they're important.
Get out the week before. I'm telling you right now.
Well, maybe
hear it.
Maybe not a week. Maybe a couple of weeks prior.
Yeah, a couple weeks prior.
Yeah. So we'll get into that point. But yeah, man, it's going to be volatile. And so you should anticipate that. You should but this will test patience. You anticipated, you're patient about it, but it also gives you an opportunity to now invest and get some spots where it's like, all right, these are good points of entry for me. Because by the time we get to April, May, you'll be looking back at the moves you made in September, October, and saying, "I'm glad I was patient. I'm glad I entered at those positions because now look at the benefits of it." So, yeah, I mean, history has shown us that. So who are we to try to fight that?
You can never fight the trend, and you should also, if you're on the opposite side, you should find companies that are in the range from 50 to 125 that are weaker companies, and look to buy puts like when they get overextended. It'd be a great time. I wouldn't do it with top 25 because things go in their favor. But if NVIDIA pull back after earnings, some of the weaker companies in the Russell 2000 and 3000 should be pulling back. So get one or two options going, ride it to the downside, and then buy back long term in your portfolio, and you'll be good.
Yeah. Yeah. So all the economic data that comes out, I would definitely be focusing on CPI will be coming out. So we'll see where inflation's at. And then, yeah, circle the 18th. Circle the 18th.
If Powell don't make a cut, you're going to get a few more emails, both of y'all. I'm so sorry. I forgot. But
remember what I had said?
If Powell don't cut, it's going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah.
Tough.
Yeah.
Tough.
We're going to see.
What about the emerging market trends?
I know a lot of times when people, like when the big cap companies are falling apart, you looking at emerging markets. The interesting part, and I talked to a few people in Red Panda about this. I really love India, but there isn't a India-based ETF that is like outperforming the way that it should based on the growth. So I was scouring everyone. Vanguard, BlackRock, I love you dearly. Te amo. Mi corazoncita. Right? They got you, Troy. State Street. I haven't found one I love yet. So stay tuned. Would I want exposure to smaller countries? No, I think India is the one, but I haven't seen the ETF or index that has given me the kind of return. You have like 4 to 7%, but based on the growth of the economy, the index should be performing a lot better. So
those are
sometimes the answer is no answer. Like it's not performing as well yet. Money is flowing into the funds, but I don't think they're performing as well as they should at the time.
Would you put Libre in your top 5 international companies?
Yeah, that's one of my babies, yo. I love Mercado Libre for sure. Okay. Yeah, if you want exposure to India through America, Amazon for sure, because they're gonna have a strong foothold there. But yeah, Mercado Libre, hands down, one of my favorites.
Well, what's the lifeline of not even the vital signs for Alibaba? What do you think?
50 said no religion and politics, right? I'm like, I was taking notes. I said, damn, he's gracious to Puff. This is getting real. I can't answer that without answering the political part of it. I'll say this. When Alibaba turns around, it will be a positive sign for the global economy. That is the canary in the coal mine. As long as they stay depressed, the overall economy will stay down. And I pray that Jack Ma is great and his family as well.
All right. We're going to throw up our top 5 international stocks next week.
That'd be good.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
So Warren Buffett, Berkshire Hathaway decided to reduce
Hathaway
in Bank of America by nearly 15%. What might this indicate about his views of the banking sector?
I pray that I get to the point where I convince the entire world that I don't know when to exit and enter a market. So he sold off a big portion of Apple, picked up Ulta, sold off a bunch of Bank of America. Brian Moynihan, I'm praying for you. I appreciate you. But this is signaling something big is coming. I love the fact that he's convinced the entire world that he does not know when to exit. Everyone, homework assignment, find the price and average. Go look at the date of where he exited Bank of America. He's putting all this cash on the side for a reason, while Berkshire became valued at $1 trillion as a conglomerate, which a hard feat to do for those you don't know. So something is coming that he's getting prepared to. Once again, I think he should be the person that buys Intel, demolish the executive management. If I ever run into you into Dulles Airport, I'm sorry. And make that a great turnaround story. But He's parking a lot of money on the sideline for a reason. I don't think he's just taking profit or it's for tax loss harvest. Like, bro, stop. Like, something's coming. 800,000 jobs were misreported in the U.S. and no one batted an eye. Have, like, Rashad, you ever seen this as, like, when you were an advisor? Ever? Dog, how you misreport damn near 1 million jobs in the economy? I've never seen this restructuring of financial information the way that has happened this year. Like, I don't know. And if it's 800,000 that got restructured, the number's probably really like 1.3. So, but what do I know? I'm definitely no Warren Buffett. That's or Nancy Pelosi. So
his cash pile has now accumulated $290 billion. Cash pile.
I don't think he just want to go to Balenciaga and ball out.
Yeah, I'm not
to the side for a reason.
200,
that's a war chest for a country.
290 billion. I think it's safe to say something is on the horizon. I'm looking at in the top 100 net market caps companies, that cash pile would put him at number 35. He's just behind Netflix. At 300.
Start doing something, boy.
Netflix, their market cap is 300 billion, and his cash pile is 290.
That's crazy.
Coca-Cola is 312. Bank of America, which he just sold 25, their market cap is 316 billion.
So you almost have as much money on the side as the company's worth.
Yeah, that you.
Brian, on the hand, I love you, but that's a tough day.
Well, with that being said, so factor in the economic indicators, inverted yield curve, variety of other factors. What's the likelihood of a recession happening in 2025?
I don't even know what the definition of recession is anymore. So if we're going by traditional standards, I think we've been in a soft one. Whatever this new now, if we don't have rate cuts in September, oh for sure. February, Valentine's Day gonna be rough. Guaranteed recession. But when you change the definition and say that it's not 2 quarters anymore, and it's only for so long you can kick the can down the road, I think it's a great lesson as a business owner, entrepreneur. You have to face the hard data that's in front of you and find a way to fix it. I don't know how you fix this issue. Commercial, like for the first time, and I said this on Stock Club, 2 indicators that really scare me. For the first time in history, we have more Americans that do not take pride in going into an office and working for a company. And I've never seen this many white Americans opt to give up their passport to go to other countries. That's a scare. Like, as much as they love America, every time I get to go into other places in Mexico, it's a lot of people who've been there for 13, 14 months. I took all my retirement, all my 401k, I moved here because everyone's playing international arbitrage. So something's coming, but if we're changing the definition of recession, I don't know when they'll officially announce it. I really don't.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, you grew up with one idea of what a recession is, and that is obviously not the case anymore. Who knows what it is? Who knows? We could be in one now. We don't know.
Fellas, that's what most of y'all be saying when your girl be asking you like who that is in your DM. I don't know. Who could that be? AI. Hey, we talk about a blackout. Y'all quit falling for the little AI girls on Instagram. I'm seeing some of y'all make comments, and that girl got 14 fingers. She not real.
Oh, like the catfish? They catfish you?
They got the AI baddies on IG like crazy. You look at them thumbs. The girl got 2 thumbs, 2 index fingers, girl.
Don't you fall for it.
Don't fall for it. Hey.
All right. Earnings?
Oh man, it's a short week, but there's some big companies that have earnings. We talked about cybersecurity when we talked about the data center expansion. Let's start with Zscaler. What's your thoughts around Zscaler, Ian?
Damn. I'm gonna do no comment on this one. I'm trying to keep my track record impeccable.
All right, so
I'm torn.
In the space they're competing with, right? We saw CrowdStrike take a hit, but they didn't. I mean, the lawsuits are still pending.
Yeah,
but they're slowly climbing back.
I mean, that 199, 206 is like a key resistance level. I hope they do well. I'll say this: I wouldn't be putting my money into them right now. I'll wait post earnings to see.
Okay. That's tomorrow. What about Dollar Tree?
Can't do it.
Not touching it.
No, not till it gets to maybe 72 or something like that. And here's the reason why. Traditionally, these companies, Dollar General, do incredibly well, but because of cost of inflation going up, the cost of goods going up, the margins are too thin to make it really investable. So you have to buy like at a great price where you're guaranteed a home run. Like a grand slam. You can't afford a home run on lower profit margin businesses. So if it got to like 71 or like 68, I would get it there.
Yeah, and they've had to actually have price increases inside of Dollar Tree because of all the reasons that you just said, which again, the margins are so thin that you're no longer traditionally a Dollar Tree. Now it has to be $3.99 or $4.99 inside there. So interesting. Now this is a throwback. I'm surprised this made the list. NEO was reporting on Thursday before the market opens. NEO is one of those pre-pandemic kind of darlings in the EV space. Yeah. What's your thoughts around NEO?
I like Nehemiah Davis, but I hate this stock. Shout out to NEO. That's the only NEO I'm rocking with. That in the Matrix. NEO, if Tesla's having compression issues and they're the leader, no, NEO is over with. The car isn't bad, but to invest it, I think this is uninvestable. I would invest in Intel before I invested in NEO.
That says a lot.
But don't do it. Don't do it. I'm begging you. But if you want to gamble, have fun. But I couldn't do it.
Another company that we saw during the pandemic had a nice run was DocuSign. They're going to be reporting their earnings on Thursday as well. It almost felt like it became a need-based business when we couldn't like communicate with each other. We couldn't actually physically sign papers. DocuSign felt like almost an essential business. People are going back to the worst forks. We've seen it pull back in DocuSign. What's your thoughts around it?
Yeah, no good. Them, Zoom, it's a couple of those COVID businesses that need to like merge and make one good pile of crap together and just be one company. Shout out to everyone at DocuSign. I appreciate you, but this stock is uninvestable at this time. I like the service, but I don't see how you scale from here.
I think you're going to have a different take on the next one. I think this is the biggest earnings, definitely of this week that I saw on the chart. And that's Broadcom. They're going to be reporting on Thursday after close. When we talked about NVIDIA and their growth inside the AI space, if you look at Broadcom's chart AVGO, you can kind of see that parallel trajectory upwards for them as well. They've had an amazing run. What's your thoughts around after the split? Now, what are your thoughts around Broadcom coming on Thursday?
Even if they miss Thursday, buy the stock. They are on like a Lilly-esque like pathway. Quiet CEO, deliver on products and services. Margins are good. Great competitive advantage. Great moat. Because you can have a moat that is strong, but the product isn't solid. iPhone right now is a classic case of that. Great moat, but the product isn't amazing. They have both. So even if they do miss, I buy it, but I think they should be good come Thursday on the earnings side. They're the only ones out of that list I'm bullish on.
Yeah. I actually, I'm putting together a formula for them right now. Last week I saw it pull back a little bit. It almost hit a number, so I'm very close. I remember I told everybody about the two stocks that I didn't invest in. They were one. Chipotle was another one. They just kept running. They pulled back a little bit after the split, which is expected. So I'm anticipating that one.
149, 151. What you looking at?
Shout out to everybody. I
ain't mad at you.
I'm gonna put the whole formula up.
No. Let's gatekeep. Yeah. So you don't want to talk. Great. Put it EYLU.
Yeah. Shout out to all the earners.
We're gonna come together behind the gate. Cool.
You shall see it this week.
Yes. Yep.
Okay. All right. There goes our earnings, man. Like I said, Broadcom, obviously the biggest one there. We got a few others. Dick's Sporting Goods, C3AI will be reporting as well. But yeah, I'm circling Thursday. Thursday's on the calendar for sure.
Yeah. Let me look at Dick's pause, huh? Dick's Sporting Goods actually fire. I don't know how the earnings going to do, but the stock long term is doing incredibly well.
Yep. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. Don't forget, ininvest.com is your last opportunity to get the Red Panda Stocks Club sale. Last sale of the year, 50% off, grants you access to Stock Club for 3 years. And it gives you access to Sniper program, which teaches you how to trade. So this is it. This is the last sale. It's been extended since we did it last week.
Yep.
Extended it for 24 hours for this episode, Labor Day. So this is it. The last opportunity. Go to ininvest.com if you're interested.
Yep.
50% off, no code needed. And you'll get all of the best entries into the market.
Yep. If you miss out, when the price go back, it's 15,000. And for the rest of you tweeting deleters, when Rashad want to go off on blackout, I'm gonna be right there with him. Go ahead, load the cannon up. Cool.
Hey,
I'm here to advocate for the people that don't have the money to invest. See, and I want to help liberate. Man, go liberate yourself first, my boy. Come on, man. I've been doing this show every day, every week, 4 years, and you look, they don't give any free info.
Surface level.
Damn, we're doing flat out lies, yo.
Yeah, so good, man. Just continue going, continue to be consistent.
That's all you can do.
Continue to do the unexpected.
Absolutely. I'm gonna do the expected, and I'm gonna go right to that beach next week. I'm gonna do my New York trip first, and I will come see y'all there right there. I don't want to hear no market questions. Will Powell make the rate cut or not? Boy. Finito.
Fun times. Fun times.
Yeah. Y'all ever wish we gatekeep some of the information for real? Private convo. 2025, boy. Okay.
You done seen it all.
Talk about Microsoft. Okay, cool. Gotcha. Sati, we need you on the show.
Please.
I know you done with DEI, but like come sit before like
we gotta have a discussion about that.
Please.
Por
favor.
Yeah, man. I mean, if we learned anything this week, obviously reach out to your people. We started the show with that, but again, rest in peace to Batman Scoop and his entire family. But reach out to your people. We got any birthdays this week? Any birthdays? Shout out to Matt. It was Matt's birthday.
Yeah, shout out Matt's birthday. Yeah.
MG. Shout out to him and his family. My nephew's birthday is coming up, so happy birthday to Cameron. Love you. And we got any else? Anybody else?
No, I'm sure a bunch of Virgos gonna be screaming in chat and texting us though.
Shout out to it's Virgo season. I'm looking at Beyonce. I know it's B-Day. Beehive, don't kill me. I know 9481 is B-Day, so that's this week as well.
Oh, okay.
Houston's own. The queen. Happy birthday to B. Yeah. Time for the school. Time to get the kids ready to go.
Yep.
I told a couple of
holy water on Ice Spice too. We gotta pray for Ice Spice. I'm done.
You never heard of a treadmill? What? That was so more bummed.
Lotto beat the demons out you, boy.
Yo, her album's all right.
Lotto tough, yo.
I heard some joints on
Lotto been rapping their ass off. I saw at the joint downstairs we stayed at.
Oh yeah? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Salute.
Yeah.
Big Mama made you turn to a demon. I expect you. Sometimes it don't pay to beef. I know y'all that being y'all a marketing player.
Ain't work.
She not want to beef with.
Did y'all check that Big Sean album out?
I did. Poor Big Sean.
Don't do that, man. Why you do that?
Fire album. It's the wrong time.
It's a grown man album. It's a grown man album.
It's a fire album. I love Sean rapping his ass off, and every time, like Huawei did with Apple, as soon as he put out, people get to stepping on it. Bro, it's tough.
Stepped on it.
You thought you was gonna be top 2 and had Janae. You got to pick a struggle, my boy.
She said put a ring on it.
That on stage.
On stage.
What you do in that moment?
Keep rapping. Act like I ain't here.
You're gonna get extorted. We got to talk about this on Blackout. How long is like too long?
That's a good yeah.
How long is too long?
Like 9 years, right? It's been a minute, bro.
Janae got to be toxic as hell if that boy proposed to her. And I love Janae, but shout out to her and Mila J. But
shout out to Slauson.
I'm on lover boy vibes come Blackout. So all the fellas who go crazy.
Certified
lover boy, yo. For all the dogs, you know what I mean? I'm cool.
Shout out to the six, man.
Yeah.
That's a fact. We'll be out there shortly.
All right, guys. It's been real. Make sure you
Rashad, we getting in trouble Wednesday or no? What we doing?
Please.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, adios míos. Okay.
Please.
Let's do it. Oh, and Shannon Sharp on Wednesday.
Yes.
Make sure y'all watch Blackout with Shannon Sharp on Wednesday and EYL tomorrow. And let's do it.
And make sure I appreciate everybody that's tuning in to Blackout Market Mondays. If you miss it, watch it on YouTube. But also don't forget it's audio outlets as well. It's a podcast too. So on your way to work, I know some people who listen to Blackout on their way to work. They always put it up in their story. So shout out to y'all. Love is love.
I appreciate y'all for real. And that little 85 South joke ain't working no more.
We're gonna start the topic with the first topic is Ian's text thread. Let's do that on Wednesday.
No, we're not.
Oh, we love you all. We love you all. Be good to each other, y'all. Peace.
Please do.